Hello, my name's Sally. I'm 33 weeks pregnant tomorrow with my second baby girl. A couple of weeks ago I found out baby was in a breech position, which was feeling really uncomfortable for me. Her head was right up under my ribs. So I tried a few yoga postures that I knew to help turn the baby, and it seems to have worked. So what I want to do today is just share those with you in case your baby's also in breech. And it may help you, it may not, we'll see what happens. If anything feels uncomfortable or it doesn't feel right to you as you're doing it, please come out of it, take a rest and maybe wait for the next movement, see if that suits you better. Okay, great. So let's come on to our hands and knees. We're going to bring the pelvis into a forward tilt position, and the idea of this is just to help baby wiggle out, wiggle its little bottom out of the pelvis and just reset itself. Or maybe just be able to turn a little and wiggle around a little bit more than it would be able to do otherwise. So we're just going to keep the hips nice and high and then rest the forearms down onto the floor. Now all these movements are best to do when baby's active. You might have noticed by now, sometimes of the day or sometimes night, baby's more active than other times. So if you can get one of those times when they're moving around to do these movements, it'll be even more beneficial. So we're just keeping hips nice and high, spine is extending forwards and just letting the head relax down. Now you can stay here as long as you like. I did a couple of minutes each time. If you feel like you want a little bit of support for the head, we can take a cushion or blanket or both, or maybe a block or two, and then just bring the arms into a comfortable position too. If you want to, you can just sway the hips, just do whatever feels good. The main thing is you've got the hips higher than the chest, so the pelvis is tilting forwards, and then baby can get its bottom moving out of your pelvis, hopefully. If baby's got legs flexed at the moment, if you know that, they'll be able to move a little bit more easily, so you'll have that on your side. Okay, and then from here, again, you can stay here a little longer if you wish. Otherwise, we're just going to press hands into the floor and just bring ourselves all the way up. Good. And then we'll just release the back, coming into a cat stretch, just letting the head release down. Good. Relax the spine. And then again, just coming all the way up. And then just releasing down. Now we'll come into a wide leg position, but we need to elevate the hips so we maintain that forward tilt on the pelvis. So you're probably going to need a little bit more than this. So I'm going to put a block under there as well. Okay. And then from here, just popping the hips back. Good. So you're nice and high now. You want the legs to go nice and wide too, so you've got room for baby. And then we're just walking the hands forwards. We'll keep the back nice and flat. That'll probably give you a bit more space to breathe anyway, especially if baby's head's right under, pushing up under the ribs, which is what I had. Shoulders relaxing down. Feet flexed, going to press into the heels so the legs get a good stretch as well. And then again, just pausing here, just for a few breaths. And the head release down. And this is a nice one to do at home when you're resting or watching TV. Maybe playing with your other child if you have one. You just take this stretch for a few breaths, and the more the better really. Good, so again we've just got that forward tilt with the pelvis. And then again we're going to walk the hands back. As I said, you can stay there a little bit longer if you wish. Good, so you've warmed up the major joints now. Going to progress that into a downward facing dog. Now some ladies towards the end of the pregnancy find this too much. So always do what feels best for you. So another option again would be coming back to this, so a very modified downward dog. So forearms to the floor, head relaxed down, maybe a support under the head and the hips nice and high. Or from there, if you've got the energy, you can come up into downward dog. So just taking the hands nice and wide, tucking toes under, and then pressing hips up and back. So head is just relaxed down. You might like to get a little movement in there just to free up the joints. Bending one knee and then the other. So just moving to one side and back again. And just trying to relax into it, trying to really lengthen the breath. Good, knees to the floor. Let's come down into child's pose, but we'll keep the hips a little bit elevated. Just using some props there. Okay, good. And then again, just letting the arms reach forwards, letting the head relax down. And then again, we'll come back to our downward facing dog. So we'll just put those to one side. Again, hands coming forward, spread the fingers. And again, just take your time. If you've got the energy to stay up here a little bit longer this time, we'll do that. But as I said, do come down and rest whenever you need to. Let's again just bend one knee and then the other. You might find your breath becomes a little bit shallow if that head is really pressing up into the rib cage. So obviously if you feel more breathless, do come down and take a rest. Okay, and then again just letting knees come down. Let's this time keep the hips over the knees and then arms reaching forwards, head relaxed down. Good, bringing the hands now back towards you. Now we'll try another inversion. So downward dog is actually an inversion, but we're going to try another one now. So from here, we're just going to try using the bolster underneath the hips. So our backs of our legs are going to rest up against the wall, and the spine is just going to be on the floor. I'm just going to use a cushion under my head as well. Now for some ladies lying on their back at this stage, 30 weeks plus, doesn't feel very comfortable. So if you're one of those ladies, don't do this part. Just come into lying on your left side and resting there. If you think you'll be okay with this, we'll go into it now. So the easiest way to come into it is to take legs up the wall side on. So from here, I'm just going to wedge myself onto the bolster. And if you don't have a bolster, that's fine. You can just use a pile of cushions. That's absolutely fine. Support yourself as you come down with your arms. And I suggest you leave a little bit of space between the wall and the bolster so your bottom can fit in there nicely. Okay, and then from here, legs are just reaching up. I'm actually going to take my hips a little bit higher. They don't feel quite high enough. So I'm going to press my feet into the wall, just take the hips up. Yeah, that's better. You want the hips a little bit higher than the spine, really. Okay, that's it. So you can see now the change in the shape of your bum, as baby's got a lot more room to move around. And we've just taken the effects of gravity away, really. So baby's now moving away from the pelvis. And then just let the arms rest wherever you're comfortable. You might, if you watch the bum, you might see a little bit of movement now. You're going to be still. So we'll just rest here for a minute or so. Just really slowing down the breath. And I'm stretching the backs of my legs a little bit by flexing the feet and pressing into the heels. So backs of the legs are just getting a little bit of stretch. Okay, just very deep breathing. And as I said, at any time if this becomes uncomfortable, or you become a little lightheaded, do come out of it and rest on your left side.
Okay, now if this is feeling good and you wanted to take it even further, we could just bend the legs, have the feet flat onto the wall, and then from here, just see if you can lift the hips up. You can use the hands to support you. So now you're really giving a lot of space to baby to reset themselves, and then just coming down. I suggest holding that just very briefly. So putting quite a lot of weight through the shoulders, and then again maybe coming back up. Releasing down, and one more time. And releasing down. Let's rest the legs up the wall again, arms relaxed, out to either side. If you want a little stretch on the inner thighs, you can take the legs out a little wider while you're here. I prefer to have my legs straight up, so I'm going to keep them there. And we'll just stay here about another minute or so. And you're welcome to stay here a little longer if you wish. Otherwise, we're just going to bend the knees and we're going to come over onto our side just very slowly, using your hands to support you. Okay, make sure you don't come up too quickly, so your blood pressure might change a little bit while you've been there. So just come up really slowly, and we'll set ourselves up for Shavasana now. So these movements are great to do when baby's active. And then finishing up with Shavasana is even more effective, because if baby's still active, that gives baby a nice bit of time to move around if they're going to move. So let's support the back by placing a bolster or such like underneath the knees. We're going to come down onto our backs. Again, just support yourself as you come down. If for any reason this is too uncomfortable, you come onto your left side instead. Okay, you're probably going to feel quite a lot of movement now, fingers crossed. So let the feet rest out to either side. Arms nice and relaxed. I'm going to bring hands onto my baby, just saying hello. If you're 30 weeks plus, and really you don't need to try and turn a baby before then, about 35, 36 weeks is ideal, onwards is ideal. Again, from 30 weeks on, baby can feel your touch, so it's nice just to say hello with your hands. So just relaxing down, again, just bringing your awareness to your breath. Slow, deep breathing. And again, the longer you can rest here, the better. So feel free to stay here a little while longer if you wish. Otherwise, just bending one leg and then the other so the feet come flat onto the bolster. And just come over to our left side now. Just pressing down into right hand. Slowly bringing yourself up to sitting. So no sudden movements, so again, just take your time.
Great, and just bringing hands onto baby. Might still be moving around right now. Shoulders nice and relaxed. And just taking a nice full deep breath in and out. Thank you. Namaste.